In the Middle East tonight, Israel's prime minister says his country's retaliation has only just begun. Hamas fighters stormed across the border with Gaza over the weekend. 900 Israelis are confirmed dead. Nearly 700 have been killed in retaliatory strikes in Gaza.
Hamas says it's taken Israeli prisoners, and there are concerns a mother and daughter from the northern suburbs may be among them. They were along the Gaza border that fell under attack.
Our coverage begins with WGN's Jenna Barnes and the latest on the ongoing fighting. Jenna?
Ben, 1,600 people are dead. We know 11 Americans are among them. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that Israel has only started its offensive in the Gaza Strip after an unprecedented attack by Hamas. The numbers are staggering. 900 people killed in Israel as Hamas attacks. 260 of the dead were concert goers attending an open-air music festival near the Gaza border Saturday. Mary Goldenberg's sister was there and called her when she realized something was wrong.
She said that there is a rocket, and I say to her, okay, so go to a safe place, and she told me I go to the exit.
She hasn't heard from her sister since. Noah Kalash hid in a bush for 8 hours as fellow concert goers tried to flee the gunman.
I know that people that were left behind in the party, the people who didn't run like me, were murdered on the spot.
It's believed to be the worst civilian massacre in Israel's history.
We're very much focused on making sure Israel knows and the Israeli people know that the United States is going to stand behind them.
11 Americans are confirmed to be among the dead. There are many more unaccounted for.
We also have to accept the possibility that some of those Americans that are unaccounted for could be held hostage by Hamas.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu likened Hamas to ISIS, in retaliation ordering a complete siege of Gaza, sealing it off from food and fuel. Israel's airstrikes there have killed nearly 700 people. Hamas pledged to execute its hostages if Israel continues those airstrikes without warning, as desperate families hope for any sign their loved ones are okay.
I have a hope. Maybe she is not dead. And if she kidnapped, so please, the government must help us because it's terrible what's happened here.
And President Joe Biden is set to deliver remarks on the war in Israel tomorrow. Ben and Micah.
Thank you, Jenna. Here in the Chicago area, show support for Israel. Dozens of people gathering in Lincoln Park to pray as there are concerns tonight about a mother and daughter from Evanston who haven't been heard from since the fighting started. WGN's Dana Rebick spoke to their rabbi who's worried that they've been abducted. Dana?
Well, hundreds gathered at this vigil here in Skokie, some whose loved ones are fighting in the military in Israel, and others, as you mentioned, who are very concerned that their loved ones are missing.
We have gone from utter joy to utter shock. Horrific, devastating, heartbreaking, unspeakable horror has been unleashed on our brethren in Israel.
The local Jewish community gathering in prayer, both in Skokie and Lincoln Park.
More than 100 abducted, many injured. Hospitals are full, and Jewish people throughout the world are in a state of shock.
This is a very troubling time, very difficult time, a very painful time.
For Rabbi David Flinkenstein, it's very personal.
Our son is in the IDF, serving in the IDF. We received a call at the very onset of the war. We knew it was a very serious call, and just to tell us that the situation in Israel is very serious, very grave.
His family also knows the mother and daughter from Evanston missing in Israel. Judith and Natalie Renan were visiting family in an area called Nahal Oz. Natalie's father tells us he last spoke to her in this text thread early Saturday morning. Here she told him she was hiding and in a shelter. but he has heard nothing from her since. Local rabbis believe she and her mother could have potentially been taken by Hamas militants.
My wife is she's had an interaction with the woman who was abducted with her daughter just a few weeks ago. So it was something which was very shocking and very personal, knowing someone that's been abducted, and very painful.
No words can describe this type of evil. Nothing can adequately express the suffering and give voice to our pain. Words simply don't do justice.
And as you can see behind me, there has been very tight security at this vigil, which was held at a hotel here in Skokie. We saw these sheriff's officers and members of the Skokie Police Department in front of the hotel earlier with rifles drawn. Now most of the people have left, but they are still here to make sure that everyone who attended gets home safely. Live in Skokie, Dana Rebick, WGN News.
Thank you, Dana.